Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. Hi, guys. Welcome back. It's me, Jen, and of course, that ding dong.
Dagda.
Today, we have a very special guest with us. I'm super excited about this. We have the one, the only, Big Beef, Pretty Boi Anthony.
Hi.
I know.
So glad you're here. Oh, this is so exciting. So before we get into what I prepared for you, because when we talked about this, you said, you're like, oh, you should do something true crime. And I was like, for you, I will. First of all, you're not the first person to tell me that. They're like, oh, you should do some true crime stuff because your voice. And I'm like, well,
True crime is life.
True crime is so fascinating. I watch it for probably vastly different reasons than a lot of people. But I like to learn about the human condition, because one thing I have definitely discovered over my many years of watching serial killer documentaries and all of that, I'm more of a sociopath than a psychopath. I do understand the difference. I just don't give a fuck sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Mr. Anthony, are you here from Washington State? Obviously, we haven't disclosed to anybody what city we live in, just that we're in Western Washington. But are you from here from Washington?
I am not from Washington. I'm from California.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Off mic, I said an offhanded comment about California. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. There's a reason I left.
Right. One of somebody who actually helps us on Behind This Stuff scenes, Bogey, he's from California too. But he's from Northern California, so it's almost like he's from Oregon.
Yeah, no, I'm from Southern California.
Are you from San Diego?
No,
Okay.
I am from Riverside. So.
That's the same thing. Like, honestly, that's the same thing.
It's closer to LA than it is San
are you
Diego.
Are you a military brat then?
No.
My nephew was born down there. His dad was a Marine, so that's why I'm like, Riverside, it's the same thing.
No.
But I think I'm thinking 29 Palms is probably the same thing. But so you don't miss it at all.
Not at all.
Just your family, right?
Not even that.
You're like, fuck that shit.
Wow. I don't really have a lot of family down there anymore. They've kind of all
dispersed.
Scattered.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you landed in Washington because we enjoy you. Every time we go into our local store, which you run a complete department there, which you do a good job with.
Thank you.
Except for, you do have an employee who cries a lot. And like,
that is very, very true.
I walked in to get a cup of coffee. So this last Friday that just passed, I took Dagda out for his birthday lunch because I gave him the greatest fucking gift of all. Not being around me for 3 whole days.
That is a gift.
Although I did really good and he still texted me. But anyways, and that person was sitting there and I swear to God, she just looked over at me and started crying like I was going to say something to her. And I'm just like, oh, they're dramatic. I just thought, oh, they're dramatics already.
She walks in ready to cry every day.
Dear ma'am, and I know that any of you ladies that are listening, and if you take this personal, dear ma'am, you don't need to cry over everything. It gains no sympathies with me because all I think is maybe you should go and cry to your mama. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe she doesn't have a mama. In which case, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, which she doesn't.
No, I'm very sorry. But the thing is like, look, life's not great for any of us right now. There's a lot of struggle. There's been a lot of struggle since COVID. I don't know about like for you. I know that you've had a lot of turnover, it seems, until it seems like you finally got a really decent crew going now.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Q. Yum, 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 yum.
My sweet Miss Q.
Oh, God. I told you. I saw her the other day and I told her if in another life I would pick her up, put her in my pocket and marry her. She's delicious. Anyways, so yeah, life's just not been good for anybody since COVID. There's a lot of ups and downs that goes with it. We've had a lot going on this last year.
Yeah.
He's not depressed anymore. He's just like, I just want to be better. He's been dealing with his stuff. I've been dealing with my stuff. But it gets better. We rely on people to have. It's funny because I told my partner. Did I tell my partner? Oh, wait, no, I didn't tell my partner. Don't let me lie here. I told my mom about the lady who likes to cry at the store. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, was like, I'm one of the nicest people you'll ever meet until you piss me the fuck off. And she's just like, yeah, I know. And I was just like, I don't get how somebody can look at me and cry. I was like, I don't get it. I very much intentionally try to be kind to people because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that bullshit. I just feel bad that you got to deal with it because you got to be her uncle, her brother, her father, her mother, all in one swoop and be like, it's okay, sweetie, even though sometimes you want to go take a week off on my dime just so I don't have to deal with you.
No, absolutely. And like she cries throughout her whole shift. Like she will cry like in the 4 hours that I typically overlap with her. She cries at least 3 to 4 times.
Maybe she's got allergies and she's not cognizant of it. Because, you know, you'll get leaky eyes from allergies.
No, she like straight up is just sad.
I was trying to... all by myself. I imagine that's what she thinks in her head all the time.
Like she walks in, she sees you, oh my God, I missed you. And that will lead her straight into crying. And I'm like, okay, I missed you too.
Right. So somebody's definitely feeling their... change when it's time to change. She's definitely feeling that for it to be so extreme, which I'm really glad. For me, my transition's been very easy because it was like 2 weeks of I want to fucking kill you.
Yeah, I mean, she did have like a medical thing towards the beginning of the year, and it's gotten worse after that. So I don't know if maybe that has something to do with it. I
imagine that affects it. And I try not to judge it. Just don't talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot, because I'm not. But anyways,
but it's even just her face. Like, she doesn't even actually have to say anything, and people are like, she's rude. And I'm like, fix your face.
I told you the first time I saw you, she was just such an ass to Miss Z over at the coffee side of things. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So anyways, so you like what you do. You're really good at what you do. You run your people, you organize them, they look to you, and I hear it. When you're not there, I hear it. Where they give you a lot of respect, which I don't know if they always do that when you're there because, you know, nobody likes to be told what to do. But you do. Really
I do have a pretty good team that actually does not mind when I tell them what to do. Yeah. Because I always have the mentality, I will never tell someone to do something that I'm not willing to do myself.
That is perfect.
And I make it very, very clear to all of them. I can do this. I would do this, but I need you to do this.
Right. So you see Pretty Boi Anthony's list of 50 things to do. Well, Pretty Boi Anthony's not going to stay here for 60 hours straight to do it. So what I'm going to do is these 30 things. The rest of you can take care of these 20. It's all about balance and putting it out there. And I do know that your team does speak very well of you. And I don't get to see you all the time because I'm not coming in as much because honestly, I really don't want to. There's 3 people in that store. I'm not allowed to talk about one of them. Dagda said I can't talk about them, and it's fine.
Is one of them our store director?
No.
Oh.
No. I don't care about Dweezil's ops. I don't care about that.
We can have a whole episode on just that.
There is somebody who works not in your department. I'm just not a fan of them. You see him looking at me. You see this evil eye. Like, don't make me.
Don't even get started.
Yeah, don't get me started. Anyways, but otherwise, I really enjoy everybody. Other than the one employee. Okay, but I have to say this. There is one guy who works in that store who likes to go into the bathroom and pretend to take a shit for 45 minutes to where you almost pee your pants when there's only one bathroom available. So anyways.
So that's like 4 people anyway.
Yeah, but there's only one I've had that experience with.
No, I mean, there's like 4 people that you...
yeah, but I mean, it's not that I dislike him unless I have to go to the bathroom and he's sitting in there fucking around on his phone. Then I have a problem. Anyways, so Mr. Anthony,
we have our own bathrooms upstairs.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But how if you're trying to fuck around, you can pretend like you have a bathroom emergency. It's just right there where you look at your department manager and go, "Oh, I gotta go take a crap. It's an emergency," and just go to the nearest one. Or if you're unloading stuff from the back stocking, which is, I imagine, why this happens for this guy, is when he's pulling stuff from that area. It's just as easy to slip in and then say, "I have an emergency," if anybody catches it. Or the one day that really annoyed me, he was in there for like 25 fucking minutes and then went on a lunch break. And I only know that because he had his lunch break over near the coffee place. Anyways, so are you married?
Nope, single.
Single and mingling, huh?
Yes.
Anything?
Kind of.
Anything pique your interest? Blondes, brunettes, redheads?
No, pretty open.
That's awesome. A lot of people aren't like that anymore. A lot of people are very... I don't date blondes. I don't date brunettes.
What have you been feeding this thing?
Blondes.
No wonder it's still hungry.
Right. Well, we're glad to have you here today. And I know true crime is your thing. So very interestingly enough, I ran into a true crime story after the last time I saw you. Mm-hmm. So maybe you've heard of her. Maybe you have not. Because I thought about doing a female serial killer. And I was like, oh, we ain't got enough days in the week to do this because I'm very like Aileen Wuornos. Like we could have talked about her. Mm-hmm. But I mean.
Oh, but there's so much better out there now.
There are. But she's just like the first one. She's like on the top of everybody's list. And I'm like, she was executed
she was like the first.
I think it's because, I think it's because she was the first really known, well known. But when you go back in history, there's some in the late 17 and early 1800s. And it's so scary to think the first female serial killers were literally nurses. And they weren't doctors. So the closest you get, nurses and registered nurses and what we call LPNs now, super fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. It's very psycho. And, you know, there was one story I had read from like 1778-ish, and the lady had done like 12 people, and she's like, I did them a mercy. And nobody had a problem with her killing these people. What they had a problem with was her keeping their pension after they were dead, because she just buried them out in the backyard and kept taking their money. That's what the people in the city had a problem with. Not that she showed mercy to these elderly that were sick.
The city is like, give us back our money.
It was so insane, because when you look throughout time, when you look throughout our history, or I mean, serial killing, not in the States, but worldwide. And I know he's got a smarmy thing to say, but as far as when we're looking for a singular person doing singular actions against many, not Genghis Khan either. Stop. Don't talk about any of the conquering stuff. But I want to say serial killing, like even in Europe, goes all the way back to like the early 1500s, that range. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. So anyways, I found this one because I'd never heard of this story before, which is really unusual for somebody who watch a lot of murder stuff and all that. And I thought it was apropos because you're pretty young. She was pretty young when she did this. I mean, she's obviously older than you now. But have you ever heard of Shayna Hubers from Kentucky?
Her name sounds familiar.
Her full name is Shayna Michelle Hubers, and she is from Kentucky Park, Kentucky.
I don't know. There's been a couple ones I've just heard. I just don't remember their names. Like the mushroom lady. She used to kill people with mushrooms.
Yeah.
She killed like 7 men.
Yeah.
Making them soup.
Yeah. Feeding people poisonous things in their food, huge thing. In drinks. Rice, and the easiest thing to put it in is hot tea. It's so crazy. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't know that. I don't know that. Delete. Anyways, okay, so her name is, her full name is Shayna Michelle Hubers. Mm-hmm. She was born in 1991 in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh my God. Actually, I'm older than her.
Oh, are you really? Well, honey, you look younger. So that's a good thing.
You.
You are so welcome. Because I'm just like, you're not older. I was thinking, I've told you before, I thought you were 25, 26. So.
I know. Thank you. I accept it.
Oh, make sure you do your wave. I accept this crown. Anyways, okay, so here's the interesting thing about this girl. Super fucking smart, right? She graduated high school early by like an entire year or so. She went to the University of Kentucky. This is the wild thing about this story. She was a psychology major. Nice. And then, yes, get it, right? And then she was attaining her master's degree in school counseling.
That sounds about right.
It sounds about right? Like, you got to get them young, right? So we're going to fast forward a little bit because it's kind of a sketch story, to tell you the truth.
I know and I'm doing after this.
Right? So in 2012, when she was 21 years old, she placed a call to Highland Heights, Kentucky, is where it was at. And she placed it, and it's called Campbell County, right? Mm-hmm. So between when she was born in 1991 and then when she makes this call to 911 in 2012, she, like everybody else, she graduates high school early. She goes off, she does college. And during the course of this time, she meets a guy, and his name is Ryan Poston. I always want to call him Piston, but that's not it. His name is Ryan Carter Poston, and he was actually born in 1982. So he was a bit older, but she was attracted to him. Good-looking guy. He'd already gone. He'd done his schooling. He was doing judicial justice, judicial law. He had just graduated, trying to finish everything up. And he became a partner in a law firm, he started working for a law firm in Ohio, which is right at that border of Kentucky.
I mean, that's the perfect person to partner up with.
Right? I mean, this guy, here's the thing that's so crazy. Her partner, he graduated from Indiana University in 2005, and he was a triple major in history, geography, and political science. So first of all, you get to see how smart this guy is. He's like really fucking smart, right? Like, who can graduate all three of those really high in their class like that? You have to be very smart and dedicated. And after he got his law degree, he went from there and went and got his school. He went to law school. There we go. At Northern Kentucky University. Shut the front door, Alice. It's been a few days since we've recorded, so it takes a minute to get back on balance. Anyways, so after he got his law degree, he started working as an attorney in Ohio. So we know that that's right there.
How they...
Yeah, they're really close. They're very, very close state line wise, right? So Shayna met Ryan, and for off and on for 18 months, they had like this huge off and on relationship. When you read through everything, it kind of is like, it started out like an FWB type thing. Mm-hmm. Where in her mind, she seemed to want more than what he was willing to give. When you read through everything, it's just like, so he very clearly was at a stage where he wasn't looking for a permanent partner, and it was kind of a...
Well, he was probably a little too busy doing homework.
I know, right? But so, they had this on and off again relationship, up and down, and what ended up happening is Shayna becomes really obsessive and jealous over everything Ryan does. And anytime he spoke to anybody he knew, anytime he went out with somebody else he knew, or whatever. And we're not just talking about like, oh, he's talking to the secretary at his law firm. We're talking about his other friends and family. Mm-hmm. She still had that same behavior, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he did try very much so to end the relationship. He was just like, this isn't working out. I don't see a long term with you. And it didn't matter because she kind of would throw these fits and be just like, no, we can't. And, and he was just a really nice guy. He didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want to upset her, but obviously psychos are psychos,
you have
right?
to do what you have to do.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because she's just like, she has this thing where she ends up trying to make this portrait. And she's like, no. This is not how it was. But I'll explain that in a minute. So anyways, so he meets, year and a half they're going through this thing, and it all comes to a head. So crazy, at 8:53 p.m. on Friday, October 12th, 2012, in Highland Heights, Kentucky, Shayna places a 911 call, and the first thing she says is crazy. So this is literally the expert. It took me so long to get these. This is the excerpts from the entire call. 911 dispatcher, Campbell County 911. Shayna, ma'am, I killed my boyfriend in self-defense. Very first thing she says. We all know red flag, right? Mm-hmm. 911, what did you kill him with? She says, a gun, a loaded gun in the house.
Well, you definitely didn't just kill him with the pistol.
Right. So she said, tell me where the gun is right now. Dispatch says, tell me where the gun is right now. She says, the gun is in the house. I laid it on the bookshelf. Right? And dispatch says, where are you? Well, I'm standing about 10 feet from his dead body. I'm standing about 10 feet from his dead body. My haunches are like raised because I was reading a book, trying to listen to this, and it immediately, boom, everything was stopped. I got out my notepad as soon as she said, I'm standing 10 feet from his dead body. I was just like, what? I don't like to be within a foot of dead bodies. No, thank you.
Is it bad that my question is, like, where is this bookshelf? Is it next to you? Is it across the room? Did you walk past his dead body to set the gun down to walk back?
It's so crazy because I actually have seen the crime scene, and I can tell you to answer the question. There's the front door, and then you go in. The bookshelf is on the side. You go in a little further, and there is a TV. And if you look over in the corner, that's where everything transpires. So, and it's not a huge apartment. Well, I mean, it is, I guess. It's a townhouse or whatever. But, so...
Well, thank you for answering my question.
Right. So Dispatch says, okay, are you sure he's dead? Her response is, yes, he's dead, ma'am. He's completely dead. Dispatch says, okay, and how long ago did you shoot him? This was really chilling to me because she goes, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. Not even that long.
Oh, Shayna.
Right? Exactly. And here's the creepy thing. And I know, and I'll jump ahead a little bit in my story. He was probably dead for longer than that because before she called 911.
She clearly walked over to the bookshelf.
Right.
And set the gun down first.
She'd actually called her mother for like a 21-minute conversation.
What the fuck?
Yes. So he was definitely dead. She called her mother for like a 21-minute conversation before she called 911. So, Dispatch says 10 or 15 minutes ago, she's like, yeah. And literally that's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. Like, what else did I say? Right?
Are you not listening to me, bitch?
Shayna goes,
That's exactly what she was thinking.
Shayna goes, Dispatch goes, okay, what's your name? And she goes, my name is Shayna Michelle Hubers. Dispatch goes,
She gave her middle name?
Yes, she gave her full fucking name. And that's when I was just like,
my name is Shayna.
yeah. Like, exactly, because it's so crazy. Oh, there's a puppy here. Oh, God, I'm going to be distracted.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
I know, but it looks like a pity mix. It's so cute. Okay. Anyways, this is why sometimes we have to throw things in the dump pile, but we're not going to throw yours in the dump pile because it's fine. Hi, puppy. Anyways, so yeah, she gave her whole fucking name. I'm like,
Clearly, she didn't learn anything during that relationship.
at the point in the program, I literally stopped it, rewound it to the beginning again, and went, I need to pay double attention because there's something not fucking right here. Because, they're just like, this person was killed on this day, and it's this crazy story. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so it caught my attention. And so Dispatch says, the officers are going to want me to stay on the line with you. So when they get there, you're going to want to know where that gun is. And we want to get you out safely too. Okay. What would your response be if 911, the dispatcher warns you, I have police coming. They're going to want to immediately know where the gun is, and we want to get you out safely. What would your immediate response be? Dagda?
I'm gonna step outside.
Okay. What would you have said, pretty boy?
I'm leaving.
Right? You'd have been like, I'm leaving the house too. I'm not going to stay here with this dead body. You're not going to believe what she said.
I'll be on the front porch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what this bitch said? Okay. Are they going to arrest me? That is her first response. And you can hear the confusion in and you can find the 911 dispatch tape on YouTube. You can look it up so you can hear it yourself because it's crazy. And so 911's like, I don't know what they'll do. We're going to send them out. We're going to send them out to you. I'm going to stay on the line with you, okay? This bitch flips the script. And so this is what Shayna says. I'm not a murderer, ma'am. I just killed him in self-defense. And dispatch is like, well, what happened exactly? What happened? So this is what Shayna explains. And this is the very start of her very crazy explanation. He beat me and tried to carry me out of the house, and I came right back in to get my things, and he was right in front of me, and he reached down, and he grabbed the gun, and I grabbed it out of his hand, and I pulled the trigger. Dispatch says, and it's so fucking, I'm telling you, you got to listen to this. You got to go to YouTube and listen to this because it's crazy. YouTube, she goes, the dispatch goes, okay, all right. Do you need an ambulance? Have you been injured? And Shayna says, I'm not injured, ma'am. I was thrown into the side of the couch. The dispatch is like, all right, what's his name? Shayna says, Ryan Carter Poston. He is an attorney in Cincinnati.
What is up with her and these middle names?
Yeah.
It's not even just that. It's like
I mean, I just think if I were in the situation, I wouldn't think about people's middle names or last names. I probably wouldn't even remember my own last name.
Yeah.
It's super crazy.
Like, I
because,
feel like you would have to ask.
yes. Like,
But she's like full naming everybody.
the last time I had to call 911 on a situation, they were like, and what's your name? I'm like, it's Jennifer. They're like, and your last name, Jennifer? And I'm like, oh, redacted. I didn't even think about including that. And then when I spoke to the officers, then they wanted my middle name. I'm like, why the fuck do you want my middle name? And that's literally how I said it. And they were like, because we want to make sure it's you if we call. And I'm like, but it was
suspicious.
I know, right? But I will disclaim this because it was well before my partner. It's not the last time I had to call 911, but the officer I interacted with was a very delicious. You don't even know.
I have these two that come into the store all the time. Oh my god.
This one happens to be out at the city where we used to work, and he's 6'7" if he's a day, and I cannot tell you his last name, but I've seen him a couple of times, and he is delicious. He's very delicious. There's something about tall people, I'm telling you, okay? Anyways.
I understand.
Right? So she discloses his full name. He's an attorney in Cincinnati. I know, right? Both of us kind of have to blink, right? And then, so dispatch says, and you've had a history of domestic violence with him. This girl goes, yeah. Oh, you're fine. If we hear it. And she said, okay. And is dispatch, okay, is this your gun? Hubers, no, this is his gun. He keeps loaded guns in the house. Dispatch. So he slammed you into the couch, but you don't have any injuries. Shayna says, I don't have any injuries. I was just very frightened. And I swear that's how she said it. I was just very frightened. She like overemphasizes frightened. He's a lot bigger than me. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. I'm 5'8" and 120. And he picked me up, and I said, let me get my things at least if we're going to break up. And he threw me across the room, and I was very startled. I was laying on the floor. Dispatch. I know WOW's coming on this one. Dispatch. Okay. All right. And Hubers. And I killed him. She's talking to the 911 dispatcher, and he threw me, and it startled me, and I killed him. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Dispatch said, ma'am, you sure he's not breathing at all? Shayna says, do I have to go touch him? Dispatch says, no, that's okay. Actually, I have someone that's outside almost right now, but I'm going to stay on the line with you, okay? And Shayna's like, ma'am. And then because he was twitching and I knew he was going to die anyways. Now, I'm going to remind you, this is not, most of this conversation during this 911 dispatch call is not a prompted thing. She literally just starts randomly talking throughout this. She says, because he was twitching and I knew he was going to die anyways, and he was making funny noises, I shot him a couple more times just to kill him because I knew he would have been... Oh, if only everybody could see your guys' look on your face. Now, yeah, like I seriously was just like clutching my pearls like, what? I'm telling you, right? Dispatch interrupts her and says, I'm sorry. You said you shot him a couple more times after that? And she's like, yeah, I Dispatch interrupts her again. She's like, how many times did you shoot him total? She's like, I don't know. And that's literally what it sounded like. I don't know. She starts this sobbing. So the dispatcher obviously just like, what the fuck is going on in her head, right? She's like, okay, because he was twitching and you knew he was going to die anyways, you shot him again. She's like, well, not to make sure he was dead, but because he was twitching so bad and I didn't want him to lay there and twitch.
I can't.
Wow.
Right? So the dispatcher says, so you shot him instead of calling 911. And Shayna goes, what? Yeah, I did because I knew he was going to die anyways. And I'm telling you, if you go to YouTube and anybody can go to YouTube and you can look up Shayna Hubers 911 call, it ends with her literally, and this is how she literally said it. What? Yeah, I did because I knew he was going to die anyways. Just like Yeah, take the fucking trash out finally, please. Just so nonchalantly.
How the fuck did this person graduate high school early?
Because she's very smart. Her IQ is really, really high, apparently.
Was she blowing all the teachers or something?
Maybe.
I don't know. Most serial killers have really, really high IQs.
Yeah, most of them have.
Maybe their brains just can't hold on to all that.
Yeah, most psychopaths actually either have very low IQ, where it's under 90, or they have closer to Mensa, like above 145. And Shayna, I want to say I saw a snippet where they said she was like around 148 to 150 range. So that's a possibility. But it's what I want to make very clear to everybody out there, because in case anybody who knows him, knows of the story or whatever, make it very clear. There is absolutely no 100% no indication that there was ever any kind of prior criminal activity, domestic violence between Hubers and Poston, no matter what she says. There never was.
No, he probably said, I don't want to be with you anymore.
That's exactly what he did. And I know why, too. And it's not just because she was fucking nutty. So
that probably didn't help, though.
it really didn't help. Yeah. So they go in and they obviously they discover that Mr. Poston is dead. And I saw pictures of the crime scene.
Is it really, really bloody? Did she clean it up?
No. We're talking about like, so she shot him in the face.
Oh.
And there's a creepy, really creepy part to it. This is why I thought this story would be so great to bring with you, because it's like unbelievable, right? So they get her down to the police station, because that's what they do. Anytime there's any kind of a shooting or accused domestic violence, that's what they do. So first of all, I want to make that really clear. There was never any domestic violence witnessed or recorded at any point during their 18-month relationship at all. And no neighbors had nothing to say about it, nothing. So they get her down to the police room.
Because this was at his home, correct?
This is at his home that this happened. That she shared but not shared. She was an overnight visitor at times. She did not live there. This was his home, because she tries to at some point during the course of her narrative say, it's our home. It's actually not. She had a few things there for when she did stay over.
Yeah, like a toothbrush.
Yeah, like toothbrush, change of clothes, some pajamas, that. So the minute she gets into the police station, she gets placed into an interview room. You can see that she's doing the, oh, hello, cutie pie. I like you. He's so nice. He's really nice. So she's like kind of shaking, and she's just this little tiny thing. I mean, she's
5'8". She's not that small.
She's 120 pounds. She's just she's a really skinny little thing, right? But she's like shaking with this jacket on and like all this. The minute the officer steps out of the room, she stands up straight. She stops shaking. She just looks around. It is the creepiest fucking... It's like seeing one of those videos that you find online where people are like, I'm home alone. There's nobody here. I live out in the country. And you can hear somebody going, Diane, let me in. Diane, let me in.
Yeah, that's why I'm never allowed out in the country.
That is how...
have to have a neighbor.
That is how...
Someone needs to be able to hear me scream.
Right. That is how creepy it is, because it literally is like flip of the switch. So she paces around. She stops shaking. She stops crying. And she starts cleaning her nails, like fidgeting with them, like she's cleaning them, right? The officer comes back into the interview room. And, of course, she immediately, kind of like looks around. And she's like, she starts shaking. And so the officer, when they come in, they read her Miranda rights.
Holy, they didn't forget that.
Right? Here's the crazy thing.
That gets forgotten a lot.
It does. But he actually immediately reads her Miranda rights. And her first response is, I need an attorney. So...
Well, you just had one.
Wow.
Should we call Carter?
Crap, Jesus. You're so mean, Dagda. Jeez Louise. So here's the crazy thing for people who, and a lot of people don't know, the minute they start reading your Miranda rights, if you ask for a lawyer, in every state, they can't ask you anything unless you're part of law enforcement, which says no matter what, you're going to disclose what's going on. Once you start asking for a lawyer, they are not legally allowed to ask you any more questions other than let me get you a phone, or do you need a public defender? Do you know who you want to call? They can ask you if you need to use the bathroom, if you're hungry or thirsty. They can't ask you anything about what they want to talk to you about. And it was shocking to me because I have seen so much, and I'm of an age where I've seen a lot of serial and psycho people things. And she's one of the few that immediately says, I think I need an attorney. I want an attorney. I think I need an attorney. So the officer,
which she's clearly not wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
the officer completely shuts up, but Shayna keeps yapping her flap. She keeps talking, and she's continuing trying to have this conversation with this officer, and you'll see why in a minute. And he tells her, I can't ask you any questions. You asked for an attorney, which is within your rights to do so, but I can no longer speak to you about this. I can't talk to you. And so she asks if she'll be able to avoid jail if she just waives her Miranda rights and talks to them. And the officer tells her very, very candidly, I can't promise you that. So without saying, I'm waiving my rights or continuing to request an attorney, she just keeps fucking talking.
Girl, shut up.
Right? Like, I'm telling you, her life would have went much better than this. She said she goes on this big diatribe about it's self-defense and there's a history of abuse between her and Mr. Poston. And she said, my feelings surged. I feel bad, but maybe there is evil in my heart because I'm relieved it's happened and it's over. She does everything she can to try to like control and manage the situation. And she really is trying to push this narrative of abuse. Every time she says a sentence to the officer, it goes from, I didn't need to see that this early in the morning. Sorry, somebody's whole ass was just hanging out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a lifestyle. He just went to the left. So every time, anytime she would say, yeah, he used to push me around, it would go from so the next time it would be, he used to push me around and then slap me. And then it was, he used to push me around and then push me down, then slap me. And she just ever expanded everything he was doing. It made no sense. She would give the exact same base information.
And then just add a little more.
And then just add more and more and more to it each time.
He pushed me. He
So-
pushed me and slapped me.
Yeah.
He pushed me and slapped me and pushed me down.
Yes, and then called me a bitch on top of that. I mean, it's so crazy. So here are her claims of abuse for that particular day. Just that day. Claims that she was thrown into the bookshelf.
I thought she was only thrown into the couch.
Ding, 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 ding. Now you get why I'm like, what's going on with this
When
bitch?
she was thrown into the bookshelf, was that when she set the gun down?
Right? So she was thrown in the bookshelf. Photo evidence, there's absolutely nothing. When you push a bookshelf, you get thrown into it. Things get knocked over disarray. Not one knocked over book, not one knocked over item.
Especially if you got thrown into it.
Yeah.
Now you could probably bump into it and like nothing move.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is you really can tell because it's like any other single man's pad. Do you think that motherfucker dusts every day? No. So there's dust on stuff. Nothing's been disturbed. They can see that the bookshelf hasn't even been shaken, and the
She
gun's
should have
just
threw
sitting there.
herself into the bookshelf.
No, she
Right?
totally went back and straightened up the bookshelf after he did that.
Yes, she did, because that's what psychos do. She claims to have been thrown or pushed headfirst into the TV. And the photo evidence showed there was no damage to the TV at all, no cracks, no dents or otherwise. And here's the super crazy thing. You actually can see dust on the TV. So nothing touched the TV. So that's the crazy thing.
No, it's the TV upstairs.
Oh, yeah, right? She claims her arm was shut the front door, but there's absolutely no marks or bruising on her arm whatsoever. No swelling, no bruising, no marks, nothing.
Plus, she said that she had no injuries.
Exactly.
In the call.
But she's telling them, now she's elaborating everything that happened. And it went from, he pushed me into the couch and I got mad, to, oh, he did this and oh, he did that. There was a small bruise on her thigh. And as a lady who has had encounters before, I can tell you that that's a fuck bruise. I can tell you that. And then she had a little one on like the back of her shoulder or neck area.
Which was probably also a fuck bruise.
It's not. If you watch back when she first goes in, she's literally starting to like, as they're questioning her, because
Her neck.
she scratched herself. I'm telling you, she scratched herself because there are many times during this where the officers leave. Mm-hmm. And somebody, you know, like they leave periodically because they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're trying to get updates with what's going on with Poston, who was very evidently dead by the time they got there. But
did we ever find out how many times he was shot?
Yes, we do. So
it's coming.
It's coming, right? So
my guess is like 15.
Yeah. So about the middle of this in this interview room time that she has, law enforcement, they've asked no question. They're not asking her any questions are on. And she just continues to go on and on about her story. And she changes her story from prior physical abuse to mental or verbal abuse. So then she's not claiming any physical abuse at this point. She's saying, he said I was a hick. He said I have a hick accent. He said my friends and family are a bunch of hicks. He said no one will want me. I'm not smart enough. And she kept repeating this like over and over. And then she said...
Did she really say it like drawn out like that?
Yes, she did. Well, I'm telling you, watch it. I'm telling you, it is fucking hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's not funny in the sense that this guy died. It's funny in the sense that here this twat gobbler is thinking she's smarter than everybody else. Thinking that like law enforcement and everybody else hasn't seen it a million times where somebody's done something devious to somebody else and then just tried to make up this story and just gaslight them. I mean, like, come on, get over it. So yeah, she did. She said, he said, I was a hick. And she doesn't, when she's talking to people about it, she's not head down and like acting sad about it. She's like pissed. She's like, he said I was a hick. He said that my family's was hicks. I mean, she just is ridiculous, right? So she keeps doing that narrative. And when she gets towards the end of that little bit of line, she's just like, I must have some kind of PTSD, I think, from recent history. So she says, literally unprompted, out of nowhere, she goes, I shot Ryan multiple times, not out of anger, but for mercy for him.
Yeah, because remember, he was twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And making funny sounds.
Yeah.
And he was going to die anyway.
Like, and it's so crazy because she's walking around. Nobody, this person in there, this law enforcement person in there is just there for her safety, obviously, right? And not saying anything. So she's walking around the room and she's like, one of the last conversations we had that was really good, he said he wanted a nose job. That tells you what kind of person he is. Well, I gave him his nose job. She literally fucking laughed, making that statement in front of law enforcement. She literally laughed.
I have to give her props. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's terrible. She goes, and then a little bit later, she goes, I don't know if anyone will ever want to marry me if they know I killed my boyfriend in self-defense. But she laughs again when she says, in self-defense. She laughs as she says the words, in self-defense. I don't know if anybody want to marry me if they know I killed my boyfriend in self-defense. Just like that. Creep out. And just these weird, odd things. Is his body still at the house? You know, I probably have rug burns. I was thinking about that in reference to her having absolutely no visible wounds or marks from this assault. Well, I probably have rug burns. She was fully clothed, by the way. Just, you know, long pants, shirt, everything. He's not a good person. I'm here and he's not. But the caliber of person that I am is so, it like supersedes him on so many levels and everyone knows it. So this is where we get that first glimpse of who she really is. Not just because, you know, you do have a little bit of, everybody kind of reacts a little differently to high stress things that have happened. Some people will just say the most random things like, I forgot to let my dog pee on my carpet. They'll repeat certain things. So you're just, I actually heard it in an interview once where somebody said, I forgot that my dog pooped on the carpet and I probably should have peed so he didn't poop there again. I actually heard that anyways. So, you know, but it's just creepy because she's going along. And then all of a sudden it just switches. I don't blame myself though. I blame the way he treated me today. So her vernacular, her verbiage, her words start giving you this bigger, broader picture going, wait a minute. 1 and 1 is not equaling 2 in here. 1 and 1 is equaling crazy bag of cats with this woman, right? Dead silence. And she goes, is there a death penalty in Kentucky? Well, he isn't here anymore to remember. Do you believe in God? And she asked this to an investigator in the room. And the only thing the investigator did, never said a word, just nod their head affirmatively that yes, they believe in God. And she says, I hate him so strongly for the way that he spoke to me, for the things that he was doing. Can I call my mother? I feel bad for his loved ones, but I don't want to speak to them. I don't feel like I owe anyone an explanation. Love can turn to hate real quick. There were many times throughout the times that she was in this interview room that she was left alone and she spoke to herself often. And it's fucking insane. So these were all caught on camera. These are all things she said or done. She began to sing hum Amazing Grace. Here's the fucked up part about it. I heard her start off on Amazing Grace and I was just like, you stupid fucking cunt. Your voice is so beautiful and you just ruined your whole fucking life. Over what? I mean, I found out what afterwards, but you knew. I mean, she already admitted, I shot him, right? Mm. And I think she became aware of the camera being there. And I think she became aware of the fact that she wasn't able to really quite control the narrative anymore. So I think she was trying to set herself up for a Looney Tunes plea. Because she goes, she did it. She killed him. You have to watch this document. You have to watch this, man. She almost starts dancing around and she goes, yep, I did it. Yep, I did it. I can't believe I did that. Oh, she killed him. Oh, she murdered him. Nobody in the room by herself. So I'm thinking she's trying to set herself up for a wackadoo defense, right? Mm-hmm. She goes, literally, nobody in the room does not look at the camera. She's fidgeting with her fingers most of the time, or she's looking. It's very The Grudge where she looks in a different corner of the room. She's like, I don't even know what to do right now. I can only imagine what's going through their heads. You can't treat someone like that. You can't push someone around the room and throw them to the ground. So yet again, she gives another kind of version of what happens out loud. Like I said, I think she became really aware of that camera. Mm-hmm. And then it's dead silence. And she looks around and she goes, I am so good at acting. If I shave my hair. I hate body hair. It's so gross. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up because she said it so absolutely. I am so good at acting. And I don't mean she did in a height. I mean, she completely calmed down. And it was like Brad Pitt going to accept a speech. I'm so good at acting. Creep me out. So she repeats the story to herself a lot. She's repeating the story and she's filling in the gaps that she hasn't already filled in before. So when you look at that on a big scheme of things, her words and behavior indicate that she very much fully acknowledges she doesn't experience emotion the same way you or I do. Or, even him. Even he's better than her. Just saying. She is giving absolute direct cues that she doesn't know how to act by the way she's talking to herself. This is okay. That's not okay. This is okay. And I'm so good. And I'm this, that, and the other. So at no time does she ever express any grief or remorse that Ryan's dead. And she feels, again, very proud of her acting skills. She tells herself she's a good actor a couple of times. And the question that she's asking are she's trying to work out what she should do, how she should be. So about 3 hours in, and of course, this is after she's made this statement about, yep, I murdered him. She murdered him. So she gets charged with murder and they issue a search warrant. Now, this being the lovely 2012, so the early 2010s, this is the greatest thing. One of the things that technology did and investigators got really smart at was looking at digital fingerprints and digital history. Mm-hmm. You see a lot more once we hit about 2005, especially by 2010, because the predomination of people in the U.S. have a cell phone and don't use a landline. For those of you crazy kids that don't know what a landline is, ask your grandma.
What?
Oh, no. So The warrant included all the residents and all the devices, her residence, his residence, laptops, tablets, phone, everything.
Please don't tell me that she looked up how to get away with murder.
I don't. No.
I feel like they always look that up.
But what is
cover up a crime scene?
Right? Well, what's crazy to know is when they told her that she was being charged with murder, she doesn't ask why. She doesn't defend anything. She just simply asks the officer, "Oh, you're fine. What degree of murder was what was the degree of murder she was being charged with in Kentucky? You know, like in our state, we have first, second, third degree. We have manslaughters and all that. So she didn't say anything other than, what degree of murder am I being charged with? No other questions but that. And the officer told her, in Kentucky, murder is murder. They have no degrees. You either did it or you didn't. Murder is murder in Kentucky, at least at this time.
First, second, third?
No, murder is murder. They've got murder and they've got manslaughter and they've got self-defense. So murder is murder at this time. So this is October 2012. She kills Ryan Poston, right? In April of 2015, the Campbell County District Court began the trial for Shayna's murder of Ryan Poston. So this begins. She's charged with murder. She pleads not guilty due to self-defense. Here's the crazy thing. Between the witness testimony and the text message evidence and evidence found at the murder scene, a completely different story than what Shayna's trying to gaslight and sell begins to emerge. In the 8 months prior to Ryan's murder, there was between 20,000 to 30,000 pages of text message exchanges between Shayna and Ryan.
Jesus.
She would send, on average, it's not every day, but it balances out. She would send him, if he sent her one message, "How are you?" One message. She would, on average, send him 50 responses, 50 different things, and it would escalate from there. The biggest text message that was found on Shayna's phone was from Shayna to a friend of hers, and she texted that she was going with to the range with Ryan tonight. I want to turn around and shoot him and play like it was an accident.
What the fuck?
Right? Friends and family said he was always trying to let her down gently. So his friends and family had known for a very long time that this was not a relationship for him. It was, I mean, basically, I don't know how to put it bluntly except for just say it. Basically, when you look at what they were trying to implicate, she was fun to fuck at first, but then her crazy came out. Somebody let the cats out of the bag, and he wasn't okay with that. He knew relatively early in the relationship of knowing her that she was not the girl for him.
She was not well.
She was not well. Well, and this other thing happened too. Where did I put it? Probably the paper that I set right in front of me, huh? Rah, rah, rah. So here's the other thing. Towards the last quarter of 2012, so in the fall of 2012, Ryan had actually met Audrey Bolt, and she was Miss Ohio 2012. He was really excited. His face would light up anytime he spoke about her or to her. So they had talked. They had met through a mutual friend, I think, and they had talked a few times on not MySpace, Facebook or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they'd had a few exchanges, and they decided they were going to meet up. So originally they were supposed to meet at 9:00 on Friday, October 12th, 2012, to meet in person for the very first time. Mm. But Ryan texted Audrey and pushed that time back to 10:00 because he had already told Shayna for months, we're not together, we're not a couple, this isn't okay, none of this is okay, I don't want this. And he wanted to make it really firm with her. He didn't want her showing up at the house anymore or anything. So he wanted to give plenty of time to do that and then go start his life. So that's the thing of interesting note right there. So that's why she became enraged, because he didn't do what she wanted, right?
And he was getting ready to go on a date.
Yeah. Yes. And here's the cuckoo thing. He'd been trying to let her down for months, at least 8 months prior to the murder, at least 8 months based on what they could see.
That's like 70% of the relationship.
Yes. It's so crazy, right? It's like half the relationship that he had and it was a very casual thing that they had too, by the way. They were not exclusive. They had a casual FWB relationship on top of that, right? Like that was the primary thing. But what's crazy is people who are crazy, they show they're crazy. She could not stop talking about what she'd done to Ryan after she murdered him. She even told her cellmate while awaiting trial, she had killed him and he deserved it. And she would often laugh about him being dead. Just very callous attitude, very much like, oh, he's dead. He's not there to remember anything.
I'm glad you're dead.
She was so intent that she had done the right thing that she would laugh about shooting him in the face and giving him his nose job that he always wanted.
Oh, God. Wow.
Shayna also, and this is so crazy, and this is crazy because, like I said, crazy people have high IQs or stupid IQs. She states to her cellmate, and I do believe from the way they represented it, I think her cellmate might have actually caught some of it on secret cam or something. I don't know.
Testified or something?
Well, her cellmate definitely testified. And just by the way, her cellmate got no reduction in sentence, no privileges, nothing for testifying. Just to make that really clear, she got no reward for turning this crazy in.
She's just like, fuck this crazy.
She's
bitch.
just like, that's what she was just like, I'm not a rat, but this is callous. This is somebody's son. This is, it's very reminiscent of recent things.
Yeah.
So Shayla told her cellmate, and more than just her cellmate, but her cellmate was the only one who was willing to get on the stand and talk about it, that she was going to plead insanity, but oh wait, she couldn't do that because she was smart. Shayna told people she's got the IQ of Einstein. And since she was so smart, she figured that going with the battered woman syndrome would definitely win her freedom. So
You got to be battered, boo.
I know, right? So she was found guilty of the murder of Ryan Carter Poston, which absolutely should be. She never testified at her first trial. She never testified at that trial. She just let the evidence speak for herself. Quote, let the evidence speak for itself, because she just knew, I told you that he had abused me before.
Did she defend herself, or did she?
No, she had an attorney.
Well, maybe the attorney was like, no, you're too crazy.
But when they announced her being found guilty the first time, it's so fucking crazy, because she literally genuinely looked shocked. So then her lawyer's just like, so her attorney says they're requesting special care and consideration due to domestic violence abuse. However, and the judge reminds her attorney of this, there was no history of abuse. They were not living together, and they were not in a monogamous relationship, which you must have one of those three requirements to be given special consideration. Mm. When they tried to argue it, they brought it to light that Shayna had at least 10, not one or two, 10 other sexual partners in 2012, in which she made sure that Ryan was aware of each and every one of them. And there was not even a single text message of anger over this issue.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly Ryan's response was, when he would respond to it, was, whatever makes you happy. She took that as free reign Willie, right?
Mm-hmm. She became a bicycle.
Right. So I know we're getting close to time. I know. But here's the thing. So they give her 40 years to life in prison, right?
40 years?
They say 40 years to life in prison, right?
Okay.
So then we fast forward to 2016. So just a year later, everything changes. Shayna received a second chance trial, because what happened is that one of the jurors who was a juror for her trial, was actually, prior to that trial, convicted as a felon. It was a convicted felon in some other kind of a case. Mm-hmm. In the state of Kentucky, you cannot serve on a jury if you have been convicted of a felonious crime and are considered a convicted felon. Mm. So it was announced she's getting another trial. So in May 2018, while awaiting her second chance trial, she called and held a special interview conference because she claims that she'd fallen in love with a transgender woman named Unique Taylor. She said she was being discriminated against by the corrections center, as she still had not heard of her approval to marry Unique Taylor. This is how fucking crazy this bitch is. She had only put the request in 7 days prior, and she called a press conference saying she was being discriminated against because she was such a high-profile case. So during this interview, and this really tells you, I'm telling you, she said, because the interviewer said, is this a stunt? Is this, like what's going on? You have your case you're preparing for. We didn't expect to come here and talk about an issue of you marrying somebody and feeling like, and the interviewer even says to her, when did you put your request in? 7 days ago. It's only been 7 days. Do you think that's a fair amount of time?
And we're talking about just 7 days.
Just 7 days.
Or are we talking about 7 business days?
No, just 7 days. She had put the request in the Monday before, and it was Tuesday when she held the conference. It was literally 7 days. Or it was Monday. It was the next Monday she held the conference. She called the special conference. And what's crazy about it is...
So really, she only gave them 5 days.
She said...
Because most of those departments are not open on the weekend.
Right?
Yeah.
So she was asked, why should she feel she should have an answer in 7 days? It's really a short amount of time. Her answer was so she could marry him. When asked why, she stated because it was a high profile case is why she was being discriminated against. She said, it is because this is not a stunt. We're in love. We love each other. I love Richie, unique. Richard Devon B. Jr. During the interview, it's very important to notice.
There we go, another full name.
She never refers to her partner at the time as a female at all. This partner of hers is pre-op transgender. They request to be called a female. She never at any time calls this individual Unique Taylor. That was known as Unique Taylor for a while. They're not known as Unique Taylor anymore because guess what? Surprise, surprise, they're out of prison and now they're known by their legal name again. Anyways, so she never says anything except for he, him. He loves me. I love him. She disregards the whole transgender issue. She just throws it out the window and it's all about he, him, and he loves me and I'm great and fantastic. So about a month after that interview.
How are you being discriminated against?
Well, because she put that request in on a Monday, they should have been married on a Friday and he should have been
But I thought it was discrimination because of the
he should have been transferred into her cell unit because he was actually a transgendered person in the women's correction facility is the way the article read. Your look on your face is priceless, boo. So about a month later, they get married, right? Then her retrial happens. So during the first trial, like I said, she didn't say shit. She didn't talk. She didn't get on stand. During the second one, she gets up. She takes the stand. She tries to give this narrative in the backstory about her school days of being bullied and teased, which is very contradictory to me, very opposite of what her personal friends, family, school friends, colleagues, everybody, including teachers, say. They're like, she was really smart, everybody was just like, she's super smart and super well liked. What the fuck, right? Then she complains that it's her parents' fault that she wore strict clothes and she had to wear more modest clothes and she wasn't wearing in-style clothes. And her sexual history, she has to explain in great detail to try and giving sympathy that during sexual intimacy with Ryan, he failed to give her an orgasm ever. She felt it was so important to get on this fucking stand and say, my history with other men is really important because he could not sexually satisfy me. The man at this point has been dead almost 6 years. Dead in the grave. She acknowledges that she kills him. And him not giving her a fucking orgasm is that important.
It is, obviously.
So she says, and I quote, he was abusive to her verbally because he would tell her she needs to orgasm. You need to come. You need to come. And then he put pressure on me to get breast implants. And then he put pressure on me to exercise and maintain my size, weight, and fitness. Ryan, according to her, was insensitive to her past. However, they literally pulled up text after text after text of her saying he was insensitive to this. It was the exact opposite. Even though they were broken up in his mind, he was still trying to be on a friendly thing and be supportive and was just like, hey, I'm really sorry that happened. What can we do to try to help things better? So he was very supportive and he tried to correct all that.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a pretty nice guy.
He was a little vain. I think some men can be.
I mean,
That's
Everybody's
everybody.
a little vain.
Everybody's a little vain about something, right?
I'm not.
So she literally, during the whole second trial, she kept repeating and imploring that she was the victim. There should be no any kind of remorse or sadness for Ryan being dead. It's all about her. She gambled that testifying would turn the tables towards her. Now, I want to remind you, she has been in prison for 6 years at this point, right? So what they did do, because obviously time had been served and everything, is she got life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years served. She's already served 6. So her first possible opportunity is 2032. So was it better or worse? It was actually worse, because if she had done her 40 years and then done her possibility of parole, there's a chance they would have actually heard her out, because it would have been enough time for her to change who she is, or at least figure out how to act human or whatever. But
Try to have a little more remorse.
Yeah, but that's the big thing is she's going to.
Because they also consult with the family. The family's part of that process. So
yeah,
if the family's going to see that they're not going to have remorse for the family member that they killed, she's never going to get out.
Yeah. And it's so crazy, because even the judge told her, you probably will never get out now. You have no remorse. You've shown no remorse. She wouldn't answer. She wouldn't even look at his family when they were in the courtroom, nothing. Because in her mind, and the way she said it to everybody, is that she's the victim, not him. Because when it got down to it, and there's a little bit more, when it got down to it, to testify, everything came down to that day. Everything came down to, he was talking to me and telling me things he shouldn't have said. He was putting me aside and putting somebody else first. And I'm not okay with that, because you don't reject me, I reject you. So the people who did the case study on this is Dr. Charles A. Morgan III. He's a forensic psychiatrist. Dr. Namita San, she's a forensic psychologist. And Alexander Sasha Barley, medical doctor, forensic psychiatrist. They all reviewed her case and reviewed it all, and they all came up with the same things. They're all firmly under the belief that she's a true psychopath and narcissist. She has very precarious self-esteem, and when she feels insulted, just insulted, can literally be the catalyst for rage and any following actions. And what's really interesting about that is that there's no saying that she hadn't beat on somebody before. There's no saying that she hadn't killed an animal before. I mean, it's really crazy what psychopaths can do when they're raged, and because there is only so long.
Yeah, I was going to say, had there been any history of her? Does it sound, from that description, it sounds like something along this line should have happened in high school or something.
That's the thing you would think, but you have to remember, this is a lady. This is a thing. I don't even want to call her a lady. This is a person who graduated high school early. So what do you call it? Formative years, if you would say elementary, middle school years. So I believe this is a lady who actually had quite a bit of homeschooling until her mom had to go back to work. So it may have been the tail end of middle school, but all the way through high school. And she graduated early.
And we have to remember that she's really smart, so she was probably able to hide all of the kind of behaviors so that nobody was able to. But she also kind of showed her narcissism and things in the relationship with
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. I want to call him Carter.
And it is so fucking crazy to me that even her family and friends, not her mother would not testify against her, but her friends, her family, the people she went to school with, people who knew her the most, are just we've never heard any of this. She never once, in all the text messages, and you have to remember, the 20 to 30,000 pages of text messaging was just the text messaging between Shayna and Ryan. That's how many text messages there were. They lost count of how many pages of this total 40,000 test exchanges. They kind of lost track of it. Mm-hmm. But never to anybody, not any text message to any other friends, any other family, nothing. Nobody knew anything was amiss, other than they started out in a very casual relationship. Shayna had decided, he's a good enough prospect. He's got himself together. He's going to be an attorney. He will provide well for me. That's what I'm going to do. He's mine. That's it. But he must stay dedicated to me, and I shall go fuck the 7 fleets. That was, I'm saying, I'm pretty honest. So it's super crazy. So they think what might have happened, and why did it not happen before? Before this, it probably was what brought on these aggressive text messages. It's probably what brought aggressive exchanges at home on, was Ryan saying, no, 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 no. But what probably ended up blowing it up is he made it very clear to her. And she even acknowledges that on that particular day, he completely ended their relationship. All she wanted to do was get her stuff out of the house. She tried to walk in the house. He tried to shut the door on her. And this much is, for some reason, this much is verifiable. He tried to shut the door on her and say, no, I'll bring stuff out.
Which is probably
and
when he shut the...
Yeah, she pushed herself in through that door. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? She pushed herself into that house to get her stuff, which was already packed and ready to go. That pissed her off. They sat down. She'd gotten the gun. He'd sat down. They had a conversation. Then she shot him.
Wait, and we never figured out how many times she shot him.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Did I not write that down? 6 times.
6.
6 shots. 2 to the chest, 4 to the face.
Oh my God, she shot him 4 times in the face? Jesus.
She shot him in the... So the way... Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought she had just shot him once.
I bet it's still on the drive at home. So she shot him in the face, and it shot his nose off. That's how she said she gave him his nose off, or shot part of his nose off. Because she knew at some point he wouldn't be okay with that, because he would be completely disfigured and all of this. And then she shot him twice more because he started making noises and he wouldn't shut up. And then he still wouldn't shut up after she shot him twice more. So she shot him 3 more times. 6 times. 4 times in the head, twice in the chest. And so was it a bloody scene? Yes, in the sense that there was blood on the table,
but it
and
wasn't
blood
like
on the
he
floor.
was sitting in like a giant puddle and there was blood on the wall.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of blood behind him because she shot him to his face. She shot him to his
that's
face.
Pretty bloody.
She shot him to his face, and she also shot him in behind his head.
And it was probably point blank.
It was pretty fucking close because she kind of changed her story a little bit back and forth. Like, she was just like, I wrestled it away from him and the gun went off. Then she admitted, well, that's not what happened. She wrestled it away from him and he sat down and she sat down. And then
So she shot him while he was sitting down?
Yes. At his
that
kitchen.
just tanked her self-defense right there.
Like literally at a table like this. She shot him while they were sitting down, essentially across from each other. And he was explaining to her, I don't want a relationship with you. He'd met this girl, Audrey Bolt, Miss Ohio 2012. He'd met her and he already knew that there was something he wanted to pursue with her. Through everything, they found out that, wow, they have a lot in common. They have a lot of common goals. And it was just a really comfortable and peaceful thing. It was just like a really even flow thing. And that was too much for Shayna, because Shayna is the one who would say, is it because I'm a hick? Is it because I'm from the hill country? Is it because my family's It was all her the whole time asking those questions. And she admits to it, but she tells not just her cellmate, but anybody else who will listen, that day happened and it's all Ryan's fault. It could have been handled so much differently, but he had strung her along for 1.5 years because every time she thought they were broken up, then they'd get back together and they'd fuck on occasion. And so it's his fault. Brown chicken, brown cow. So yeah, psycho. Psycho killers. So yes, it is worth looking it up. So funny fact, not even a year after she married her husband and wife, Unique Taylor, she divorced them, because the whole point of marrying them was to have somebody who was going to take care of her and be in a relationship when she got out of prison. She was not getting out of prison, even though Unique was going to be released. She wasn't getting out of prison, so she filed for divorce. Wow. And she still maintains that it's not fair. It's not her fault. And yeah, when you go through this whole thing, she does not understand. She doesn't have the ability like you and I. I have the ability to go, my name is Jen. I'm a daughter to River Mommy. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello.
I talked to Mommy yesterday, and I said we're gonna have Pretty Boi Anthony with us. It's so great. She's like, which one's this one? I said, well, we call him Big Beef Anthony. That's his fault, not mine. It's like we call him Big Beef Anthony. Big Beef. That's right.
That's super exciting.
And Mom was like, and Mommy was just like, oh, that's kind of neat. And I said, yes. I was just like, and he's just the first of a few people. Oh, right. So we're excited. He's being a dick. He's such a Dickensian on time. Anyways, so
That was a good story. I'm glad that you picked that one.
I'm so glad that you came and joined us, because it's nice to have somebody else who's into the psycho killer, serial killer thing.
And this one's a little bit different because it has like the comedy, it's all the emotion.
Like seriously, you could put on that that music, and just play it without ever hearing it, and you would see her in her dancing in the interview room by herself, and
I guess she's not getting her Academy Award though.
She is not.
No Emmy for you, baby.
Yeah, and I think somebody even mentioned that her, like I said, her IQ was somewhere between 145 and 148. It's like right in that range. Yeah. But she definitely has. She was definitely hard for a lot of people to pin as a psychopath at first, because they weren't paying attention to what she was saying. They were just like, little tiny woman shoots guy repeatedly. They hadn't done the research. So once they did the research front to back, they're like, oh, 100%. So when she's going through this, she doesn't understand remorse. She's never seen it displayed. She doesn't know how to display it. She doesn't understand the difference between remorse and guilt, because what would that be? She did what she needed to do to make herself happy. So it's crazy. But yes, I'm glad we did this story, and I'm sure I'll find other stories where I'll be like, hey, pretty boy, do you want to come do another session?
I will always come back and do another session.
We have such a good time with this. Big Nux. We have Big Nux. We're happy to have you here. So we're going to do everything we can to get it on the air as soon as possible, because obviously right now we still release 3 days a week. Well, on this side of things. But one thing to tell you is we're talking about making a change to our name, because something different. There's a new generator site through our hosting site, name generator, and it generated all these fucking hilarious names. So don't know if we do. We'll let everybody know. But for now, you guys, please like, follow, subscribe, share. Sharing's the most important thing. The more we can get out there, the more people can know us and plug in. Tag your bestie with the episode you think they'd like. I want to thank the wonderful and happy and always joyous. And this is why you actually are one of our favorite people to see at the store, is because you're always happy. Oh, even when you're having a bad day. Remember you and I several months ago, we had that conversation. Even at the end, even when you're having a bad day, you're trying to make sure everybody else is doing better. And it's a good thing to see the kindness in the world. It's what makes me like you, is because I see the effort you put in. And especially when you have, because you mostly work with a bunch of ladies.
I do.
And, and that's okay, but you kind of have to be mama, papa, hen over them. Mm-hmm. And you do a very good job with it. They speak very highly of you when you're not there. I'm happy you joined us today.
They're all my little girlies.
I know, right? I'm sure Dagda's happy because he didn't have to talk very much.
Indeed.
So until next time, would you like to say bye-bye?
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Savages. Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.
Meanwhile, behind the facade of this innocent-looking library, we have behind-the-scenes shenanigans. So, go ahead and talk a little bit, everybody.
Hello. We're here to start the show and have a good time with Big Beef Anthony. Hello. We're here to start the show. Is that good enough? He's like, fuck you, punk ass bitches.
Wow.
Are you trying to do the dead space thing, that dead air thing?
Not yet, no.
Or the back noise thing, or whatever it is. I don't know how to say it right.
What made you automatically go to Snow White?
Okay. And so I did. I went, we fly high up into the sky. Yeah. We fly high into the sky. We're cute, we sweet, we can't be defeat. When we fly. And it was just like, oh, well, that sounds like the Seven Dwarfs. Mm-hmm. So in the story, and that's not the exact song, but that's basically the gist of it. So in that, I'd made the notation. Now to those, so the rest of us, as wee lads and lasses, we heard this in kind of like in their rhythm and rhyme from some very strange dwarfs in a faraway land, but that's a story for another day. So that's where that came from, is because I just went through the story with
Dagda.
It's funny.
If you're
I was
going
just watching Once Upon a Time. And
the TV show?
Yes.
Oh, do you know what I found?
There was Snow White. The Seven Dwarfs was the last episode that I watched.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I'm like, how did you immediately go to Hi-O?
Oh my God, that's so great. Have you seen the Once Upon a Time Alice in Wonderland? Have you seen the one season of that?
Yeah, the sequel, the like spin-off one.
Yeah, like the origin story for Alice.
Mm-hmm.
I did not connect in my brain until we were talking about it last week. Or I don't know if we talked about Stranger Things last week or the week before. Didn't connect it in my brain that was Millie Bobby Brown playing young Alice in that show. Yep. Did not connect because I'd only seen it
so
once.
So many actors in there.
Oh God!
Like, I mean, I've rewatched it a couple times just because I'm one of those people that like I find shows that I comfortably just like, and so when I need a break in between things, I'll like weave in other shows that like I can fall asleep to, or I can do the dishes to.
Right.
And I could literally walk out of the room for like an hour, come back, and know exactly what is going on.
Yeah, that's me with King of the Hill. I've probably watched and listened through it. Well, it started on the air almost 30 years ago, so more than 30 times, trust me. It's like every 2 months I have to restart the whole series. Mm-hmm. But that's what I fall asleep to listening to 90% of my life. And I've done that since 2006. So
yeah, I used to be really big into Bob's Burgers like that.
Oh God, I was watching that this morning when I couldn't get back to sleep. Fucking Louise, man. I just restarted the first season after giving it a 6 months break, and it's like that episode where Linda's just got to crawl on herself to go do dinner theater, and fucking Louise to Tina at that knife, and she's like, "Sorry, baby, I'm just getting ready. Sorry, baby. Get out of here. Get away from me." So super great. When are you ready to start, bub? Because we do have to pay attention to time.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I am ready.
Maybe
not. I'm ready. Okay.
Now you're actually ready.
Yeah. I had to make sure that I'm using a different sound.
Well, I mean, it's going with conversations. So we have the completed and the not completed. So the not completed one, whatever, put them on both. I don't care. Whatever you want, dear brother o' mine.
Peter is, and I'm just like, oh God.
You're just like, fuck my life.
This is going to be the thing.
Everything I've spent the last 25 years learning, I must now unlearn.
Yeah. So it was terrible.
All right. Are you going to hit record?
Yes.
Tell me when.
But
first.
Let's move his microphone a little bit closer. And maybe, because you're coming in kind of soft. Not super loud. So, probably up. No. That's all further goes up. Nope. I know it's weird to have it up above.
It's okay.
But,
touch it with my nose.
Yeah.
That's the way he practiced for like 3 or 4 days, like 3 or 4 sessions. He was like on it. I can't do it. I've had to learn how to project my voice, so it's just I don't even. Yeah, I can be across the room and still be picked up because I can get loud. He'll tell you I can be loud.
I know it's kind of weird, but if you have it above, then you won't be breathing in it for one thing, and then like popping from the. Won't be as bad.
Yeah, and I didn't bring any snacks today because I actually I re-listened to our episodes that we already have published, and even the ones we don't have out yet, I re-listened to them, and I'll be like, "Oh, what the hell is that? Oh, I was eating carrots." Sometimes you can hear it, so I try to make sure I've got a little better balance for myself.
I completely turn around. Eat only things that are soft.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I like So the mic's here. I turned to my desk and I was so hungry. And I ate a carrot and I could hear it from this 2-foot distance. And I'm like, well, fuck, even my teeth are loud.
So is this better? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, he said that and I instantly thought of that old Verizon commercial.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
You know what I saw the other day? The Orbitz commercial.
The Orbitz commercial?
The commercial is live. You lit liquor.
You ready?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Good.